Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 309. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
I'm doing all right, you know.
That's a smile. I'll take it. It's a smile on a Sunday. I'll take it. It's a Sunday.
Can you believe
it's weird.
Matt delayed the podcast to Sunday and didn't even show up? Nothing else happened.
I love how you tried to throw that under the bus like that. I like it. So yeah, sorry everybody. If you didn't see my tweet, I did tweet out that we were going to be late this week with My Xbox and Me, though we was of course not going to miss a week because we don't do that here. Unfortunately, we were meant to record Friday was meant to record, and then Matt P dropped out, and then we were going to record, but then there's been a bunch of what's actually going on in New York? I can't really explain it. Like, what's actually happened?
Tornado went by in America. I don't actually know how close it was to New York, so I don't know if it hit New York directly, but we got a whole bunch of rain because of it. Yeah. So there was a whole bunch of flooding happening all over New York. Yeah. And we unfortunately, by we I mean basement got flooded, got a few inches of water, floors ruined, a whole bunch of stuff. That's been a mess for the past few days. Yeah, so we went to go record the podcast, and I just looked at, I had to take a bus decision. My Xbox and Me is not like a real company, yeah? Like, that's not like, so, but I in myself, Crash, I was just like, I need to take leadership in this moment and just be like, no. So me and Crash sat down to the podcast, and I looked at him, and he just looked, Crash is already low energy. We all know this. Like, he comes in, he does him, like, whatever, yeah? But he came in with the energy of a snail. Like, and I was just like, I looked at him and was like, you look emotionally and physically drained. Like, I was like, no, we're not doing this. Go and sleep or go do whatever it is you had to do. And I was like, no, we're not doing it. I'll be honest, that probably was the best decision you made because I don't think it would have wound up to be a good podcast.
No, I mean, look, that would insinuate that we ever do a good podcast.
That's true. That's true.
That's a bit presumptuous. You know, you got to calm down a little bit there, mate. But nonetheless, I'm glad to have you. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad everyone's okay. And it's bad, but it's not too bad. It could have been somewhat worse.
Could have been much worse.
Imagine you was in the basement.
Yeah, I'm so lucky that I wasn't in the basement anymore, right?
Oh wait, so is it the room that we used to see? Is that the room that got flooded?
Yeah, that's all the basement. Yeah.
Oh no,
that got flooded.
Crash is just in there doing the podcast, and then like the water comes shooting through the room. I'm like, no! Oh my god, nuts. If you didn't know, My Xbox and Me is our weekly Xbox podcast here on youtube.com/myxboxandme, and of course on all podcast services. Crash, it's working. It's working, Crash.
It's working.
Every week I check the My Xbox and Me YouTube subs, and we get like a 2, we get a 3 bump, we get a 4 bump. You know, help us reach 2,000 subscribers over on My Xbox and Me. We are currently sitting at 1,441. I'm just saying.
I'll be honest. If we could get that to 1,500 before the end of the year, we got a good amount of time. I'm just saying.
I want 2,000 by the end of the year.
You want 2,000?
Why not? I see, Crash. I see the numbers each week. I know who's listening right now. You know? I know how many people are listening right now. All of you. I need you to do me a favor. Go to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. We need you. We don't ask of anything of you. You know, we're not heavy on ads. We're not heavy on Patreon push. We just want your support. Is that so much to ask for, Crash?
It's just a few clicks of a button, you know.
It's a few clicks. I don't think it's too much
to ask.
I don't think so. For an hour a day, an hour a week that we do this, sometimes an hour and a half, sometimes hour and 45, I don't think that's so much to ask. Personally, I don't think so. But if you did want the show early, head over to patreon.com/mcfixer where you can support the show financially. Hey, I'm a professional. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, and we will be searching those to see if we get any more reviews very, very soon, because we enjoyed reading that the last time. And a big shout out to our Patreon producers, Aaron God and FNH Paul. Thank you, boys, for the support. Topic of the show this week comes from our friend BT Maverick 707, and he asked this question. It was in the YouTube comments, where you can ask your questions in the YouTube comments each week. Congratulations. So, if Halo Infinite is successful and proves to be this wonderful thing, would you like to see Gears Infinite, where the multiplayer is free to play, platform, and I'll let you guys kick that around. Corey, a real butcher, knife emoji, from Northern California. Sorry, apologies for butchering that. Crash, would you like to see Gears Infinite if Halo Infinite is successful?
Yes.
Okay.
I think, to be honest, I think even if Halo doesn't end up being successful, I would like to see most multiplayer games going forward becoming a platform, especially if multiplayer is like a big thing that they push, because it's hard to compete with the Fortnites and and Warzones and all these games when you're constantly like, oh, that game came out, but it's going to be old news by the time the next game comes out. Instead of just continually building a platform, it's like you're restarting over every time.
I think Xbox are in a very unique position as well with their first parties, because Game Pass, yada, yada, yada. But would I like to see... I mean, yes, I would. I would like to see it. I do think it needs to be a case-by-case basis, though, and we're specifically speaking about Gears here. Even Gears being free-to-play, I don't think brings in a big audience. I hate to say it. It's just so... The multiplayer is so hardcore. Like, ridiculously. It's ridiculous how hardcore it is. The movement, the gameplay, I think it would bring some people in just to test it out, but they wouldn't be sticking around. So
I agree.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I mean, I understand when you say the Infinite stuff, it's just like the multiplayer being free to play and then the story being something that people pay for. Yeah, I would like to see it. I think anything that can, as I want Gears to get away from numbers. That is something I want them to do so much, because I do think people will give it more of a shot if it was Gears Infinite or Gears, I don't know, Tale of Two Brothers, Gears, me and your brother shot some locusts in the head. Gears,
that's what it's gotta be. Gears, me and your brother shot some locusts in the
head. Gears, you stepped on my tomatoes. Gears, Dom. Gears, what else can I go? I could keep going for ages, you know. I think all those games do well.
Are you stopping? I think that's what the listeners are here for.
Okay, Gears, Coltrane, baby, woo! Gears.
I'm gonna do you a favor.
Okay.
I think that's enough. I think that's all they needed to hear.
Okay, cool.
You could keep going though. I would just want you guys to know you
could
keep going.
I could. I definitely could. But yeah, I do want Gears to get away from numbers. I do think.
Yeah.
As a whole, I think it would be better. I know sequels sell better, but to bring in new players and people to actually experience what Gears is, I think would be nice. They made a mistake not doing Gears 4 and 5 as title.
They're kind of in a weird spot, I feel like, with the next one on whether they keep the number or
six.
not.
It's
they
got
have to have 6, right? Because it's the end of the trilogy.
Yes.
I feel like after that, they're more than likely drop.
After that, we need a reboot.
Yeah. Oh, that honestly, that'd be pretty dope.
Would you not? I'd love to see. I'd love to see another. I'd love for them to actually fix Judgment in a way of like, because the concept of Judgment in terms of its story is like before D-Day, right?
I think it's like right as it's happening.
Oh, okay. But I think that would be cool to actually play if it was good, but it wasn't good.
Yeah.
So
but the problem is like it's Judgment.
No, I'm not saying no. You don't get it twisted.
It's more like
a Final Fantasy VII remake type thing, where it's like, yeah, we've remade, like, we know we've done this before, but we're doing it totally different.
Yeah, but you don't know why that works with Final Fantasy 7.
Because that's a good game.
People like Final Fantasy 7, yeah. Like I 100% I will be honest. For me, like if they say like we're redoing not Final Fantasy, Gears Judgment, I'd totally be zoned out of it. And I love Gears.
I know.
Judgment was such a
yeah, but we don't call it Judgment. You know, we call it Before D-Day, and it's like Dom, you know, doing tomatoes and with his wife.
Who's gonna want to play a game called Gears of War before D-Day?
You'll be surprised. It's actually a farming simulator game.
You grow tomatoes. Oh, I like it.
That's saying. A good idea. I'm just saying. But yeah, as Gears becoming a platform, I think all games are. I think that's where we're going. To answer the question, Maverick, I think that's where we're going. I think we have seen games such as Fortnite and Wars. We're seeing Call of Duty do it. Call of Duty does it in such a majestic way, though, because they're able to sell you a multiplayer and single player and sell you a BR, and it all plays in together, and they just keep generating money and money and more money and more money.
And it's really crazy because they got people in a cycle of people who might have stopped buying games, buying the next Call of Duty multiplayer just so they can have the access to level up the guns in
that's legit.
Warzone. Yeah, which is crazy.
That's the only reason why I played. Oh god, what was the last COD?
Cold War.
Cold War. That's the only reason why I played Cold War, was to get the Cold War weapons. And it's like, Jesus, because they're overpowered weapons as well. They know what they're doing. They're not stupid. Yeah. It's like, oh, we'll make all these guns good, and then everyone will have to buy the game, and then they'll have to play the game to level up the guns, and they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. But what other games in Xbox's franchise do you think could become a platform, first party wise? Obviously we're gonna. I think we see Forza end up becoming that.
Forza makes a lot of sense. Wow, Halo.
I guess is Flight Sim technically that already?
I think so, because I think they keep expanding on Flight Sim, and they do what is it, monthly updates for Flight Sim?
Yeah.
So I think Flight Sim
and then they've got
could be considered.
They got the Top Gun.
Top Gun
expansion, and yeah, I'm trying to think like what other. There's certain games I wouldn't want it to happen to. Obviously, like we just need a good Fable. So, like don't mess with that too much.
But even like Fable, I think you could sell it to where it is a platform and it's continually growing. But the thing is, like, it would have to be done right.
At that point, I'd want an MMO then. I'd want a Fable MMO. Which is kind of what 2 was in a way, like
with the co-op aspect and all that.
Well, the co-op and then the ghost bubbles and it had your gamer pick and I remember some dude just coming across to me and be like, "Hey, do you want 1,000,000 coin?" And I'm like, "What? Yeah, of course I do." And he gave it to me and then like ruined the whole game for me because I could literally buy everything and get the rent, set the rent prices high. Oh, Fable, what? Man, Fable was so good. Fable 2 was so good.
Yeah. Fable 1 and Fable 2, and then we got Fable 3, which is not a horrible game.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are extra down on Fable 3. I don't think it's as bad as people remember it to be. It's just not. I don't think it lives up to Fable 2.
It's not that. It's the same thing with Peter Molyneux coming out and be like, if you plant a seed here, it will grow. It's the same thing that happened with 3, where it's like too much overpromise, and then the game comes and like for me, I didn't know anything about any of the overpromise. Because I borrowed Fable 2 and Fable 3 off of Haley, my fiance's brother. So those were the first time I ever played the games.
Right.
So by the time I was playing them, there were still people playing, but I didn't know about Peter Molyneux. Like, I didn't know who Peter Molyneux was when I played that game, to be totally honest with you. So
right. So you had a better experience with it then.
I did. I loved those games. Even 3, I loved. I played that through co-op with Haley and was just like, yeah, this game's fun. I enjoy being the king and deciding who gets what, and you die and you don't die, and the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and all that. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, honestly, Fable 3 has like some interesting concepts that I feel like if it was tighter and done better, would have actually made for like a phenomenal game.
But to answer the question, yes, we would like to see Gears multiplayer go free to play, and yeah, I'd like to see Gears be successful. It's the big thing. I'd like Gears to have the respect put on its name that it deserves. Because I do still believe it's underrated. Though people disagree with me on that, I do think it's underrated. Do you not?
I don't disagree. I don't know about. I don't agree with like the older Gears games. I think Gears 1 through 3.
No,
got plenty of love when they
they're
came
rated.
out. But 4 and 5.
Yeah. 4 and 5.
I agree with underrated.
Yeah,
especially
underrated
like their campaigns and stories, like super underrated. The problem with Gears ultimately comes down to, like you said, it has a huge skill floor and then a huge skill ceiling on top of that.
Yep.
It is difficult to get in, and then even when you get in, you play against someone who's decent at the game, and you're like,
all you need is
I'm
decent.
Just really not good. Yeah.
All you need is decent. If you're someone decent who can wallbang, can knows movement, the game just, you might as well be an alien. Like, it's just done. Yeah. Just don't bother. Let's jump into Fix This Stat. We've got a few questions. It's going to be a light show this week, I've got to be honest with you all. There's not much news, so strap in for at least 45 minutes. First question comes from Ant Gore, who says, with xCloud coming to Xbox and Series S/X in the winter, do you think the average consumer would buy a Series X, or do you think this can be used to bridge the gap in some people's minds into getting a cheaper console? We kind of had a question like this last week, if I'm not mistaken. No, I don't think so. I feel like game streaming is, even the way Xbox are marketing it and where they're marketing it at this moment in time, it's not for the everyday person yet. It's still, at the moment, I feel, for the hardcore of hardcore. It's not where Netflix was at. You know, it's not there. It's not even close to there. Like, Game Pass and xCloud, to me, it's a huge play for bigger than just this console life cycle and last console life cycle. This is to replace consoles, in my opinion. Like, that's what they're bagging on all of this becoming. They want to be the next... Microsoft want this to be the Netflix of games. There's no way anyone can argue about it. They're doing the same business models. Do you remember back in the day when Netflix was just discs? Yeah. And like they'd give you a free month all of the time. Like, get free. Xbox done it different. You get the pound, you pound the pound, and blah 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 blah. But yeah, it's just we're still so early on in. It's weird to think because Game Pass is at 10 million players and growing still, and xCloud is being. I've seen people on the bus playing it now, and I'm like, man, that's weird. That's super weird to see that. But no, I don't think it does bridge the gap between the average customer, in my opinion. What do you think, Crash?
No, I don't think somebody would see it and be like, I'm gonna buy a cheaper console. But I think what it does is somebody who might be like, I want to buy next gen instead of getting that Series S or upgrading to the Series X right now, they might wait for like a better deal or something like that because they can play those games. Some of them which weren't available to them. Some of them you play outdated models and all this stuff. They get to wait and experience a better version right now and then wait for a better deal or wait till they can get that Series X as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I wonder how many people are just like, well, this is good enough. And sometimes being good enough is perfect, which is not perfect. It like kind of weird for me what I'm about to say. It's not perfect, but it's perfect enough. It's good enough. It's that weird thing of what type of games are you looking to experience on this? Realistically, you have one of the three consoles, whether it's a PS4, an Xbox, or a PlayStation, a PlayStation, an Xbox, or a Switch. You probably have a PC of some sort, or you have a tablet. Like, as long as it's not terrible, you can experience at least half of the catalog that's there on Game Pass and have a really good experience. Now, would I suggest you play Gears or something that's or Hellblade or something like super graphically fidelity wise on xCloud? No, but how many people listen to this podcast are like, well, this is good enough and I own a PlayStation? Yeah, I don't really think so. I don't think that the casual consumer is going to even think about game streaming, personally. But, I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. Let me know in the comments below and let me know in the emails if you are someone who currently owns an Xbox Series X or an Xbox One, and you would be willing to just stream games until, I guess, like what Chris said, the Series S/X gets a price decrease. Wild. Can you imagine when the S gets a price decrease? That thing's already dirt cheap.
I wonder if they would ever do a price decrease on it.
I think they're going to. I think they're going to get that console down to $100 at some point.
I don't think so.
Why not? If it's at 200 now,
$100?
I mean, at two. Well, this is our first. No, this will be our second Christmas with it, right? So it won't be yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like it's at the moment it's £200 in the UK. If they could get that down to £100 for a £100 in the US
when you said 100, I was thinking $100. $300 in the US.
Okay, so it's $300. An S is $300.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So $150 then. No,
I could see it happening within like the longevity of the lifespan. I don't see it happening to like towards the end though.
Okay, interesting. All right, next question. This one's actually not really a question, but more of a statement. So I'm going to read it out. Connor said it was okay to read on the show, and we always like to hear your thoughts and feedback, so please keep it coming. This one's from Connor Smith, who says, really appreciate you calling out the lack of co-op in Halo Infinite. It's so difficult to navigate the discourse among Halo fans. Be sympathetic to 343, and you don't care about the quality of the game. Bemoan the loss of co-op, and you're entitled, so people will say. I think another delay would help, not just the quality of the game, but also the welfare of the devs working on the game. After having played all the previous Halo campaigns with my girlfriend on Legendary, except Fire because it lacks split screen, I was looking forward to playing Infinite with her, as we have a long distance relationship, and she's getting a Series S. To be honest, it's a huge disappointment for us. I can't play it with her for all of 3 months. It's a bit of a shock. Connor, I think you have every right to be upset, annoyed, frustrated with... I don't know who with, if I'm honest. I don't know whether we should blame Xbox or if we should blame 343. I don't know I don't know who you're allowed to moan to. You can just moan to us, I guess. Because there's no point. Don't bother moaning to people on the internet. It's just no point. But I don't think you're wrong for the way you're feeling. Like, to be honest with you, I think if that's an experience that you clearly share with your girlfriend, and now you have the heartache of having to avoid spoilers and avoid this and something getting ruined, and we all know what meme culture's like. So if something is funny, it's going to get memed all over Twitter. And I make you right. If this is the way you experience these games, especially being in a long distance relationship as well, I can imagine how hard that is to like find out the game's going to be out and you just can't play it in the way you want to.
I just want to point out, Connor never said that he wasn't playing it without his girlfriend.
That's very true. He didn't. I'm just assuming that he
avoid spoilers and stuff like that.
That's a great point. I did assume that he would be avoiding it for the benefit of his girlfriend. Maybe that was a stupid. Maybe that was a stupid assumption. Maybe that was a stupid assumption on my behalf, right?
No, I think it's fair to say.
Do you feel any different since last week on the whole co-op not being there at launch and etc. etc.?
No, I feel the same. The game should have been delayed. I understand why Xbox wouldn't want the game delayed. Yeah. I do think that ultimately it probably comes down to Xbox being like, this game has to come out now. We can't delay it again. Yeah. More so than 343. But who knows, really? I think it's fine. I think it's fine to be irritated that it doesn't have co-op. I think all that stuff's fine. But again, always do not cross the line of attacking the people that work there and all that stuff. I just feel like a friendly reminder should be put out every once in a while, especially when we talk about a topic like this. Be respectful on the internet, you know?
Yeah, it's hard, but yeah, it's because I don't know. It's that thing of what I just said, though, right? It's like, who do you blame? Do you blame Xbox because they're the ones that created it? 343 probably wanted it there at launch and wanted more time. Probably, maybe not, but probably. So, yeah. Next one is from Shotgun McPain and says, I was thinking the other day about sound design in games. One of the most innovative examples of sound design in video games to me has been the hit markers in COD. It's so good that when an FPS doesn't have it, it weirds me out. I was wondering what sound design in games seems so revolutionary that it's used, so when it's not used, it feels off. That thanks, keep on doing great work. Crash, have you got anything in mind? I'm going to open up the question a little bit more than just sound design. So all gameplay mechanics. If something is not there in a certain game, what is it and why does it feel off?
Pinging. I think in any multiplayer games where it doesn't even have to be an FPS. If I'm playing a multiplayer game that's co-op or third person, doesn't matter, and I'm playing with other people, the fact the game just doesn't have ping natively in some sort of fashion just always feels off now. Like Apex spoiled us with that, and now a bunch of games adopt it, where it's like, it's one of those things where you're in the heat of the moment and you're like, he's right there, and the other person's like, where? Right there? What do you mean? Right in front of me? Whereas in front of you. Ping just like clears a lot of that up, that it always just feels awkward when games don't have ping or when they do have ping, and it's just a really bad system.
Yeah, I mean, ping is obviously the big one up there. I can't think of something. I know what Shotgun means about COD though. With like it's like the little.
It's satisfactory.
It's just
Gears of War headshots.
Oh, the exploding
with like the sniper. The sound you get when you hit that.
Yep.
It would not. It's so satisfactory. I think a lot of innovative sound design stuff. It's one of those things where you don't really notice it. But it's definitely there, and when it's not there, it would definitely feel something off, like, oh, it's not feeling right and all that stuff. But it's one of those things where sound design super goes unnoticed in general, and it just feels really good, right?
Yeah, it's a weird one because I'm trying to think of like games that I play that like is an everyday occurrence of like what I do in terms like of, and your ping is the biggest system ever. Like without ping, even I played Aliens Fireteam, which I'll probably talk about in What's in Your Box. And yeah, that had pinging, and I was like, oh, thank God. But we didn't realize until like later on into the game where I'm like, oh, I could have been pinging these boxes the whole time, and it's like, oh, that's nice that it's there. In terms of sound design, I can't think of anything that comes to mind. A stupid AI is like a one. Since I played Resident Evil 2 and we've had Mr. X, I'm just like, why is all AI not smart? In terms of like, it's designed smarter than what, like you watch a stealth game, and I understand two drastically different games, and stealth games need to be created with a level of dumbness in the character, otherwise it becomes ridiculously hard, and it's just not it's not fun to play. But yeah, no, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I do think that's a good one. The Call of Duty, I can totally hear it in my head right now. The Call of Duty, as you get those hit markers. It's something so subtle but so important. So yeah, good question, Shotgun. Good question indeed. Kresh, what game are you excited for this month? There's a lot of games coming out this month. I'm going to read a little list to you. Okay. New segment called What Are You Excited For? Only going to happen once this week because we haven't got much news.
Got it.
But it is the month of September, and there are lots of video games coming out. I'm going to pick the big hitters of what I consider the big hitters anyway, and you can tell me if you don't think so. So number one, it's already out, and I have it, and I've played it. Big Rumble Boxing Cree Championship.
That's a big hitter.
For me, I was very excited.
Sure, you're reading the list, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, from everything else, but from that point onwards, you wouldn't care about. So, that come out the 3rd. Excited for that one?
Nah, really.
I got you a code.
You got me a code. I'm excited now.
Oh my god, guys! See, because easy to pay him off. Easy to pay him off, everybody. What else is coming out? Let's have a look. See. Life is Strange: True Colors. Will you be playing that?
Ooh, yes. I'm actually looking forward to that, especially because we play Tell Me Why, and I really, really enjoy Tell Me Why. So I'm actually looking forward to Life is Strange: True Colors. Never played another Life is Strange game, so it'll be my first one.
Yeah, you won't need to. This is a whole separate thing anyway. But yeah, that should be good. We should see if Laura wants to do like a spoiler cast or something for it, because I like the way we tackled it last it. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I did miss one game. We got Blood Rain, Betrayal. Is that not? That might not be the game I'm thinking. Wait a second, Crush. I might be giving promo to a game. Yeah, it's not. It's not. Don't worry about it. Crush, forget that. Forget what I just said. Forget what I just said.
Ask what game you thought it was?
No, I thought it was the BR, the vampire game. Yeah, BR. But no, it's not. It's not. Sharp. What about Lost Judgment? You gonna be checking out the new Judgment game?
No, I don't think so. Not really.
Fair enough. Ghost Warrior is coming to Xbox Series X/S.
Ghost Warrior.
You don't remember this one?
I'm drawing up.
No, Ghost Runner. Not Ghost Warrior. Ghost Runner.
Oh, Ghost Runner. Yeah, I love Ghost Runner. It's such a good game.
Are you going to play it on console?
I played it on... That game's been out.
It's on PC. It's not on console yet.
No, it's on console, I'm pretty sure.
It's not on Series S/X.
Oh, so it's an updated version. Okay, it's a next-gen version.
Crush.
Gotcha. You don't know. You have no clue. Got it.
I ain't got a clue, mate.
Got it.
Look,
okay.
I tell you, we got 10 minutes left of a show, all right? We either do this segment or it all goes tits up. All right, we'll get into October.
Ghost Runner is fantastic. Excited for
it. October. FIFA 22, Crush.
I'm excited. I have 10 hours in that game. I'm going to use all my 10 hours.
I hate it so much.
To do a FIFA Ultimate Team. I'm going to get this baller team. I'm going to run out of my 10 hours, and then I'm not going to play. And then one day I'm going to be like, I'll pick it up cheap. I'm going to go back in with my FIFA Ultimate Team, and I'm just going to get destroyed because my team's going to suck at that point.
That's facts. I'm really excited for this year's FIFA. They've updated the career mode. They've updated pro clubs. Ultimate Team, still Ultimate Team, so I'm not too stressed about that. I'm going to play a lot of FIFA. And my Xbox audience is not going to care, but I'm going to play it nonetheless. Okay? So beware, October 1st, I'm going to be playing FIFA.
This becomes a FIFA-only podcast.
It does
Expect weekly updates on how his pro teams work, how his pro team's going.
That's true. That will happen. For at least the first month, you'll get that. And then once it becomes I have to pay, I'm out. That's when I leave. That's when I do. That's when I do. Far Cry 6, Crash.
I am... It's the most excited I've been for a Far Cry game in probably since 4. Probably since 3.
No, 3 was... See, the problem I have is the games always get me excited. They don't always turn out to be great.
Yeah. That's I think that's a very fair assessment of Far Cry. I do think that they're going for a different approach, at least with like the zany weapons and all this stuff that I think they've done in some of their spin-off titles, but they haven't really done in a main title.
Yeah.
That I can think of, which seems like an interesting appeal to me, because I think from the spin-offs, a lot of times that is some of people's more enjoyable things about those games. So I'm really interested to see how they incorporate it into a game like this.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see. There's been stories, people have previewed the game and whatnot, and they've talked about
invited. My Xbox and me got invited. Yes, wow, that's a lie. MC Fixer got invited. MC Fixer got invited to the previews, but I couldn't go. Unfortunately, I had weren't a go. I couldn't do it. I had other obligations that day for streaming, so I couldn't do them, which I was very upset about because preview coverage is always fun to do. But yeah, I couldn't go, unfortunately. But yeah, from what I've seen and what I've watched and what I've heard. Seems good.
Yeah.
Next one on it. Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood. I'm indifferent towards it. I know you're very excited. Yeah. It's one of those things where like if people are like, yo, you want to play some Back 4 Blood? Like, yeah, sure, I'll hop on. I enjoy it enough that I'd hop on and play, but it's not something that I'm gonna be eager and hit up friends and be like, yo, you guys want to play some Back for Blood, grind some Back for Blood? It's not really. I know this is gonna be your game of the year. Whether you accept it or not, you're gonna get to making your list and you'll be like, I've put in 1,000 hours. It's been out for like a month. This is crazy. It can't not be my game of the year.
I think I'm gonna put a lot of hours in. I just don't know. I don't think I'll be game of the year. No way.
It'll be up there.
I think it has a chance of hitting my top 5. But I don't think game of the year.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I'd be shocked if it doesn't hit your top 5.
No, there's a lot of games coming out still. And, yeah. If Road 69 makes it to Xbox by the time the end of the year comes, that's in my top 5.
That'll be it.
So,
really? That could have been an experience.
I had such a fun time with that game. Yeah, really did. What else on this list? The Dark Pictures anthology House of Ashes. You've still not played any of those games, have you?
Nope. Not a single one.
Good. They're so good.
Not a single one.
Man of Medan's on Game Pass as well.
It's been on Game Pass for a while, yeah.
I'd love to watch you and Matt P play it together. Trying to communicate, both of you awkward as hell, trying to communicate, streaming at the same time. Oh, it'd be hilarious. It would be hilarious to watch YouTube.
Who's awkward? Matt P's very awkward.
Crash. Don't make me have to put in the clip I had to clip from this week's episode, all right?
Oh, come on. That's not even fair. That's not even fair.
That could be a TikTok, Crash.
You can't put me on the spot like that.
I know. I had to get my parcel.
I understand that. I get it. It was a perfectly, for people who don't know, Fix in the middle of this podcast got up, he had to get a parcel and he told me to take over. I was completely unprepared for it. And I tried for a second. Like, yeah, I'm be 100% honest. I don't know where Fix was, where we was going with that. We were talking about xCloud and whatnot.
Don't worry about it. The magic. You don't see it. Edit in magic. Edit in magic. Keep it on TikTok. Possibly. Yeah, and then what else we got? We got Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
What do you mean?
We haven't talked about it. I think that game does not look good.
Graphically, it doesn't look good.
I don't think gameplay it looks good.
Wow.
Yeah, that game does absolutely zilch for me.
But it's Marvel.
You know, Fix, I do love me some Marvel.
There you go, sorted. You're welcome. And then the last game on this list, I'd say that's relevant to our podcast would be Riders Republic.
There's another game.
What?
Age of Empire, Fix.
When does that come out?
That comes out in October.
Does it?
Yeah. It's an October release.
It's not on my list.
Because that's I'm assuming that's console only, right?
What, this list?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it should be there.
Yeah,
unless I'm mistaken about the date.
Oh, no, it is here. You're right. October 28th. Yeah, you're right. I missed it.
Of all the games you've mentioned, that's probably my most.
I was about to say, what's the one game you're most excited about?
I think it's that.
Age of Empire.
I think, I think Far Cry has a possibility to like entertain me more than something like Age of Empire. But I think I know I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy Age of Empire to a certain degree just because I enjoy those type of games. Whereas with Far Cry, it really is.
We missed one other game, Battlefield 2042.
When does that come out?
That comes out October 22nd. October's stacked.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I think it's Battlefield. I'm actually really excited for Battlefield this year. I forgot that was an October release.
But it's multiplayer only.
Yeah, but it just looks so fun. I'm going to be honest. Like, just the gameplay and the idea of it. And the fact that it's fully crossplay.
You haven't had a game get you in ages.
That's true.
Like, if we actually think back to the times I've met you, like, you, at the moment, you haven't had a game where I'm, like, logging on every day and you're like, come on, let's play. Like, yeah, I'm on. Like, there's nothing that catches you anymore.
I'm going to just say this also. I enjoy playing games by myself.
Yeah, I don't.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
So I will hop on and, like, I'll play a game and I'll just go on and jump on by myself, and I'll enjoy it.
Team-based games, I can't. Single player, obviously, I love my single player games.
For Battlefield will 100% be a team game. I won't jump on that by myself. But I can play other team-based games by myself. But I've also honestly, I've fallen out of that a lot as well. Like I don't do it with Smite. I don't do it with Valorant, like any sort of game like that. I can't queue into it anymore. I think part of that is like I'm getting older, and like that competitive thing of like I just want to be good at this game is gone, and it's like I just want to enjoy myself now. So it's like if I'm not playing those games with friends, I don't think I enjoy that experience anymore.
Yeah, I hear you. Let's jump in more spinning our box. What have you been playing this week?
I played a little bit more of Psychonauts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you gonna finish it? Do you think, or?
Yeah, I think I'll definitely, just with the shape of like what's come out this year, and for me personally, it's been a little bit of a drier year. I do think I'll finish it. I will at least try my best to finish it. I intend to finish it. I enjoy it. I actually think like some of the level designs are really cool. There's some stuff that like sort of pops out more that I don't enjoy as much. Okay. Like you get a whole bunch of skills in the game, and they only let you equip 4 at a time. I think that, and there's no quick swap method. You have to go into the menu and switch them out. I don't enjoy that too much. I do wish that was a little bit more fluid. But I enjoy the game. I think it's a great game so far.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, my Xbox Me audience. I lied to you. I said I'd play it. Haven't played it.
Ooh,
I said
question.
No.
12 minutes?
Nope. I literally, okay, so 12 minutes, I literally logged on to play it. Me and Haley sat down to play it on stream, and then I literally just looked at her and went, nah, I'm not feeling it right now, and then just decided not to. I'm not going to lie, I think Matt P's review of it kind of put me off of it in a big way.
Yeah,
you agree?
Honestly, yeah, because I was in the same exact situation where I was on, and I was like, I could really play this before the podcast, so we could discuss it and all this stuff, which Matt P didn't end up being here, and I think I'd want to discuss it with Matt P being here.
Yeah.
But it was sort of like that situation of like, because he's not I've heard his sentiments from other people as well.
Yeah, same.
So it's sort of like hearing him say it just sort of reinforces all those things I heard, and it's like, ooh, I don't know if I want to play this. I'll definitely play it. It's a short game, so I'll at least try to get through one playthrough. But it is a little disheartening because I was also really looking forward to that game. It's such an interesting concept for a game as well.
I'm going to play it before the end of the year. I'm not all of these games that I've not checked out, Psychonauts and everything. I'm going to play them all before the end of the year. But just as of right now, I'm just like, I'll get to it.
They're not Back 4 Blood.
Leave Back 4 Blood out of this, all right? Just leave Back 4 Blood out of this. What have I played this week? I've played...
You mentioned a game that you would talk about, Aliens.
No, I forget. Well, I played the Alien Fireteam last week, but I forgot to talk about it. No, I think I did talk about it. I think I mentioned it. I did mention it. Yeah, I played Alien Fireteam. I've actually been playing a game called Tormented Souls, which is on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. It's a Resident Evil, old school Resident Evil clone. In terms of like
fixed cameras,
third person, fixed camera angles, stop to shoot, all of that. It's very good. I enjoy it. It's very good in terms of like bring me back to it's what it sets out to do. It nails. It's very atmospheric. The music is very good and very Resident Evil. And if you know what I mean by that, if you ever play a Resident Evil game, you know what that sound sounds like. The one thing I will say about it has some really, really, really hard puzzles in the game. And there's just parts of it that just don't make any sense, which is really frustrating. Though, if I was playing this on my own, I would have struggled all the way through it and had to have looked up guides constantly. Playing it through with Haley and chat makes it that much easier. But yeah, if you're someone who enjoys old school Resident Evil 1, 2, 3 style games, this is that with a bit of a modern take on it. Even like the camera angles sort of like move sometimes and stuff, like the way the camera works. It's a very good game. I am enjoying my time with it. Is it great? Is it fantastic? No, but is it a solid good? Yeah, I think it is. I think it sets out in what it is trying to do, which is be a Resident Evil style style survival horror game. And that it knocks out the park. I haven't beat it. The story is okay. Just like Resident Evil, if I'm being totally honest with you.
I was gonna make a joke.
No, it is. It's the truth. It's very okay, like a Resident Evil game. Voice acting is okay. It's just, again, if you like Resident Evil 1 or if you like Resident Evil 2 or 3, you will enjoy Tormented Souls for what it is. And
what if
okay.
you like Resident Evil 2 remake?
No. This isn't anything like that. It's not.
So I wouldn't like it.
No, this is not a you game.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Under no circumstances should you play it.
I play it. Got it.
No, yeah, I played that. I played one match of Big Rumble Boxing Creed Championship. I kind of wanted more of like a Ready to Rumble style game. It's kind of that, but not all the way there. Very arcadey. Obviously, if you like Creed and you like Rocky, it's got all those characters in. It's then got like a security guard. It's just got an arcade. There's no story mode. There's an arcade mode, which like then comes up with like cutscenes after every fight. It's very arcadey. It's an arcadey boxing game. If you like that, you'll enjoy it. There's not much more to it, if I'm being totally honest with you. But yeah, I've only played one match. I'm looking forward to playing a little bit more of it when I get the time to. So yeah, that is all I've played this week. Well, I've messed up. Hayes had 7 weeks off. So we were meant to beat It Takes Two. Haven't beat it. Not even once. Not even close.
Have I talked about I played It Takes Two. Have I talked about that on the podcast?
No.
I played It Takes Two.
With who?
Played a decent bit of it with Ben.
Oh, okay.
Who else do you think I'd play with?
No. I thought you were playing it solo. I was just like, oh, what a horrible experience that must have been.
Fix was about to throw hands. Like, you have another friend. Who is he? What's his name? I need an address.
Address. Where's he live?
To America. I'm not gonna let you know that. I just need to go beat someone up.
Exactly. What did you think of it?
I like it. The game design is very. It's really, really interesting game design. I like the fact that 2 characters do the different bit, like the bit with the nails and the one character has the hammer. I think that's really cool. I think overall the game design is just phenomenal, and the fact that they change the pacing for the game so much and like what you do in that game is really interesting. It keeps it fresh and new from what I've played. Yeah, I like it so far. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to finishing it. It's a shame I haven't had a chance to. I just keep putting it off, to be honest with you. But
I haven't had a chance to.
Haven't wanted to.
That's 7 weeks.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, let's jump into this week's dashboard. Not a lot of news this week, if I'm being totally honest with you all. So we'll get through it relatively quickly. Xbox is heading to the Tokyo Game Show, but temper your expectations. Aaron Greenberg was asked on Twitter to go into a little bit more detail of what's going to be shown at the Tokyo Game Show for Xbox. And he said this. Well, since you've asked, at Tokyo Game Show is a show for our players in Japan and across Asia. Expect regionally relevant updates, but no major releases or announcements, as our games team are focused on continuing to ship big releases across October, November, and December.
You know what I hear there?
Go on.
Persona 5 for Xbox.
I don't think so somehow.
You don't think so?
No.
It really sounded like that.
What I will say is I did watch Tokyo Game Show, Xbox's Tokyo Game Show last year. And it was really good. What they did I felt was really good, and they got the right people to speak, and it wasn't Americanized in any way, shape, or form. And that was good, and that's exactly what they needed. And again, it seems like they're doing the same thing again this year, staying out of the way and letting the teams that can speak to that audience, which is phenomenal. I would love Persona to get added to Game Pass, but I understand that that's probably not going to work. I'd love to see something shown from Tango, because they're the only Japanese-owned studio from Xbox, but I don't think we will because Ghostwire Tokyo got delayed, and that's a PlayStation exclusive. So they're not going to be able to show any of that, and I don't think they're working on anything else.
Well,
but yeah,
Ghostwire Tokyo's coming out on PC, right? It's just console exclusive.
Yes.
So they could still show it.
No way.
But I don't think they would.
Xbox, it's still Xbox branded.
Yeah.
It's not coming to Xbox Game Pass.
I mean, it'll say Xbox Game Studio.
It will say that. That's true. Yeah, it will say that. But that's about it. That is about it. Yeah. But maybe I'm wrong, and hopefully I'm wrong. But we'll have to wait and see. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Next one is a piece of news near and dear to my heart, obviously. Xbox is now the official gaming partner for the England football team.
You excited?
Not really.
I added that story just for you.
The only thing I can think of that's going to be beneficial to me is there may come up an event that I get to go to now, because it'll be Xbox, and then maybe I get to go to Wembley, or I get to go to an England game or something like that, possibly. Right. But other than that, no, I don't really, what does this mean? Like the synopsis of this is
pockets.
No, well. Microsoft announced that Xbox is officially partnering with game partner for England's football team. This includes the Lionesses, the E-Lions, the Three Lions Wembley Stadium, connected by EE, and St George's Park, and that is a multi-year deal that will bring new experiences for fans though there aren't many details right now. So yeah, I can imagine this being like tournaments and stuff like that, possibly, and then when they do this sort of thing, it's all Xbox branded, Xbox consoles and stuff like that, which is amazing, don't get me wrong. But yeah, Xbox have been doing the score war with Xbox for years now. So yeah, this is a very smart partnership, to be honest with you. So yeah, good luck to Xbox, and congratulations to everyone that got this deal going, Yeah. Next up, Halo Infinite fans are worried about 343's approach to multiplayer progression. In the latest Inside Infinite news post from 343. Sorry, I'm trying to put Football Manager again. Football Manager's there. Football Manager's in my head there. 343, 442, 445, 451, who knows. Head of design Jerry Hook addresses how the recent technical preview handles its battle pass, where players progress by completing in-game daily challenges. While doing so, Hook said, quote, "Using challenges, our goal is that you will always be earning progression in your battle pass through playing and winning matches. Most other games' battle passes use an XP based system to progress, with everything from wins in Fortnite to sailing nuclear miles in Sea of Thieves tied to a numeral point, which allows you to level up passes. Halo Infinite seems it will be all tied down its progression to completing challenges instead. And following the post, fans on Twitter want some clarity, pretty much. Crash, how do you feel about the way they are doing battle pass stuff in Halo Infinite?
Yeah,
does it worry you or not really?
A little bit. So it's not just battle pass stuff. So you don't have an overall level in Halo Infinite. You just have your battle pass level, and that counts as its own thing, and that's what you progress, and that's what they're going for this time. And I think that's an interesting take, and I don't dislike it by itself. What I dislike is the challenges. You need tokens to re-roll a challenge. So if you get something you don't like, you re-roll it with a token. Problem is you have a limited amount of tokens and you don't have an unlimited amount of rolls. So you could get something a day that you like, if it's get 15 sniper kills, and I'm not good with the sniper and I don't like to use a sniper. I don't want to be forced to, especially if it's the only way you can progress.
Yeah.
And I think you can, I don't want to say that you can buy tokens, but that's what it seems like, because you can earn them through the battle pass and stuff like that. So it does seem like that's the route they're going for with it. I don't know if it's confirmed that you can or not, but if that's the case, but even with that not being the case, the fact that I don't have unlimited rolls to get a challenge that I would like to complete is kind of bothersome with that, especially in a system where you have to complete challenges to do it. And like the system and the challenges seemed fine in the the test flight, it was cool, but I am worried when it's like for a long-term goal to only be able to complete in challenges and winning matches and all that stuff and not having a level to go up. I feel like that could be a little bit of a lackluster experience in the long term.
Yeah, it doesn't fill me with joy. Someone who's not a huge Halo guy, obviously. I just want to be able to play and feel like I'm always progressing. And that's something that I think Fortnite does better than any game in the world. It's, you play, you're always trying to win, but you could do this fishing task, and you can do this, and you can do that. And not that I expect Halo to have anything like that, but it needs its version of, you got assists, and you got kills, and that XP is always making me seem like I'm progressing, you know? It's the big shiny thing popping in my face. You know, like, you always want that. And I get this is going to have that kinda, right? Because it's going to be get 5 kills with a pistol and get 15 kills with a... But what if I want to use a pistol? And, like, my progression shouldn't stop because I don't want to use a gun that you're trying to force me to use.
Yeah, or play a game mode that I don't want to play and stuff like that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And, again, that puts a lot of pressure on the battle pass to be good as well. Because that's all of your progression.
I think part of that is also for the idea that they have the battle pass doesn't expire. I feel like this is also partly tied to that, which, again, I don't know. Overall, like, I'm not against it, and it is one of those things that, like, maybe when you play it and they've sort of tuned out all the stuff and got it running smoothly, maybe it's an enjoyable experience. But just looking at it on paper and my experience with it, the fact that I might be forced to do stuff I don't want to do is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it's just not the way I want to experience games. And I guess the problem there is going to be, well, you can just enjoy the game. You don't have to worry about progression, but that's just not the world we live in, unfortunately. It's different. It's different than that, unfortunately. Next story. There was one about previews for Elden Ring, but it's a big old long raid, and I'll be honest with you, I can't really make out of it. If you wanna go hear some previews, again, I don't really like reporting on previews here. We're not a news show. That's not what we do anyway.
Yeah.
Like, if we get invited to previews, perfect. And when there's articles come out of, like, 5 things you found out about Far Cry 6, like, maybe sometimes we read those, but like a full-on big preview is not our sort of thing. But there are Elden Ring previews out there, so you should definitely go and check that out over on IGN or your site of choice that got access. Next up, Marvel's Midnight Suns. New gameplay was shown, Crash. Did you watch it?
I did watch it.
What did you think?
I liked it. I know a lot of people weren't super happy with it, the card-based system and stuff like that. I enjoyed what I saw. I think it looks very in line for an XCOM type game. I think it's a little bit different, which it is a Marvel property. It's going to be different. It's also a completely different franchise for them. So I'm sure that they don't want to do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I like card-based systems. Slay the Spire, fantastic game that uses a card-based system. I think if done right, this game could be really interesting with a card-based system as well.
So yeah, the big hullabaloo is people are extremely concerned that 2K obviously are the ones publishing this game, and there is a card-based system involved. So people are worried. They say about microtransactions. Midnight Suns did tweet out and say, "Hey folks, regarding our battle card system, there are no loot boxes in Marvel's Midnight Suns or related microtransactions to get more cards, i.e. gamma coils. We have purely cosmetic character skins for purchase, and that do not affect the game balance in any way. So people do not need to worry about that in the slightest. It's still... I don't think it graphically blew me away, if I'm being totally honest. And then we heard it was on Switch as well now, so that could always be one of the reasons. There's little things that I like about the game in terms of, like, its gameplay looks interesting and looks fun. To me, it looks fun and interesting to play. Obviously, there's not going to be permadeath the way I wanted there to be. That's quite obvious in this now, and that's okay. I understand that. it was the hub world stuff that didn't really get me going, because that's where I think it needs to then look good for me to be interested, in terms of like me and Wolverine are going for a walk in the park and we're going to go and talk about life, and that's where they're going to be telling its story. And I get that, I understand that, and that can be interesting. But I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against it. I'm looking forward to play the game personally. Not too long away in the grand scheme of things either, which is nice. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like as hyped as I was the first trailer that I saw. But I'm also not upset by it either. It's just I'm somewhere in the middle, I guess.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people actually mention the graphics of the game, and I understand it's a Marvel game, so maybe they expected more. But like the studio that makes this makes XCOM, and XCOM isn't like a graphically amazing game.
Do you know what I think it is personally? I think it's after coming off Avengers and that not being graphically amazing, and it's okay. We keep getting Marvel games that are not quite what we wanted. A lot of people thought this was going to be like Ultimate Alliance as well, because they didn't understand the studio that was making it, hence why it got a lot of backlash. It got a lot, and I'm like, guys, and people are like, it looks like a mobile game, and I was like, no, it's just a turn-based game, you idiots. Like, there's a difference between something being turn-based and it being mobile. Like, stop being stupid. But yeah, it's I'm not mad at it. I'm somewhat optimistic it can actually be a fun game. Like I'm very much looking forward to hanging out with Blade, you know, because I don't think we get enough Blade.
Yeah,
I don't think we get enough Blade in this world. So
the roster, you get Blade, you get Magic. The roster in this game seems fantastic. You get Ghost Rider, and it's not the normal Ghost Rider. I forget his name, slipping my head right now, but I think that's dope. I think the roster for this game is actually really cool. I'm excited to see who else they're throwing to this game.
Captain Marvel. Obviously, there's going to be more characters we come across. Wolverine, that's all I needed, if I'm being honest. Give me more Wolverine, because I know the X-Men whole stuff is like a pain in the ass. Like, but yeah, it's good
we're seeing X-Men stuff now, though. You know, it's a good sign.
No, it is. It actually, I know we're joking, but it actually is a really good sign. Same with Blade. Like, just being able to see Blade now, I'm like, oh, thank God. It doesn't need to just be Iron Man and Captain America and Black Widow and the usual suspects. We can actually get to some of the other characters. And I am a very casual Marvel fan. Like, I watch all the films and I watch that stuff, but I don't know. I'm not into comics and stuff like that. So anytime I get to delve in and learn about new Marvel characters, I'm always for it. Always for it. So I'm happily optimistic. I hope the gameplay, it looks fine, it looks fun, and I hope the card system works the way it looked like it looks, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. For me, kind of one of like the biggest worries I have is you talked about the little story pieces you can have with characters. It's not so much like the graphic parts. I do think like that is one of the biggest worries with the graphics they went for, is those parts might not hit. I'm kind of worried that those parts not being written well enough for the conversations to actually make somebody care, and for it not to just rely on you're talking to Wolverine. That's going to be like the thing that grips you, and he's going to tell you the story. It has to be like an actual story and growth between the main character and the person you're talking to. And I wonder if with a player created character, how much that can happen, you know?
Only time will tell, Crush. Only time will tell. Fortnite has added Will Smith's character Mike Lowry into the game. Bad Boys movie franchise has been now added to Fortnite. I don't even know if it's still there or not, but it was added on Saturday of last week. Fortnite. It's an interesting game, Crash. It's an interesting game.
Will Smith now.
Will Smith is there now. I'm kind of a little bit upset for Mike Lawrence. Like, where's his character?
Who knows? I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm so surprised Will Smith is in this, because Will Smith would have had to sign away his.
I said that wrong. So yeah. Go
on. Will Smith would have had to write off his appearance for that.
Yep.
Which is kind of crazy. Which means he got the craziest of bags for it.
How much did he get paid? Ridiculous amounts.
Absolutely. There's no doubt.
Ridiculous amounts. Last story of the week. It's all about Motion Studios, who did they did like a little press conference thing held. hosted by two people we know, Crash, or at least one person we know together and one person I know separately, Jackie Butler.
Yeah,
and which is Crash. Considering me and you met,
so shocked to see that. Dude, yeah,
considering me and you met because of like Alfredo and Jackie, and like to see her hosting things now I'm like, huh, this is crazy. And of course, our friend over at Spawn on Me. Of it, it was crazy. It was crazy to see Jackie there. I was just a bit like, okay, and then Khalif being there as well, and I'm just like, okay, guys, interesting. Good choice. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
You allow it?
I'll allow it. But yeah, they pretty much did a deep dive developers live stream where they showed off. They really did a great job of showing off how much has actually been done in this Dead Space remaster. Remake. It's definitely remake, not remaster. I apologize. Side-by-side shots of corridors, going into the inner workings of like animations. Literally, if you haven't watched this and you care about Dead Space, you should definitely watch it. And if you don't even care about Dead Space, but you want to just see the difference in terms of like when we talk about remakes, like there is a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. And I have to give credit to EA and Motion Studios, because what they've done so far from what we've seen and been shown is they've done it the right way. So
yeah,
big credit for there. Big credit there.
Does this get you at all excited for Dead Space?
It gets me more excited to play it, just because when I played it, I didn't dislike it by no stretch of the imagination, but you're going in with that level of like people saying it's so good, Dead Space is amazing, oh, it's better than some people told me it's better than Resident Evil, and I'm like, all right, well, here we go. You play it and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a little bit dated, it's a little bit rough around the edges, and then to get to play this version of the game is going to be humongous. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm more excited than I was. I don't want to take away from other people's excitement who actually care about it, because I wouldn't want people to do that with me on Resident Evil.
Right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it more than I was, definitely. Some big hitters, Crash, have hit Game Pass. The big one being Final Fantasy
13.
Thank you. Jesus Christ, Crash. Do you ever play Final Fantasy 13?
Yeah, I don't like it. It's a big hitter, though. A lot of people really enjoy it. I was not a huge fan.
Fair enough. The other big hitters that have gone into the game, into the Game Pass, is Signs of Sojourner, September 2nd. You got Surgeon Simulator 2, Crash. I'm thinking me, you, Matt P. That is a let's play.
Sounds good to me.
Crown.
You wanna know what?
Go on.
If people want to see that, you know where they should go?
Comment to this video.
YouTube page and leave a comment. Hey, we'd like to see you guys do a Surgeon Simulator 2 video.
Okay. Beneath Edge, September 9th. Nuclear Throne, September 9th. The Artful Escape, September 9th. Leaving Game Pass, September 13th. Dead Online, Jesus Christ. Red Dead Online is leaving. That? Company of Heroes 2 is leaving. Disgaea 4 is leaving. Forza Motorsport 7 is leaving. Must be licensing. Must be song licensing that's messed that up. Hot Shot Racing is leaving. The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics is leaving. And Thornbreaker, The Witch's Tao, leaving Game Pass September 15th.
I just had a thought. You know how we were talking about platforms earlier? What if one of the reasons we never get a Forza platform is simply because of licensing?
Possibly. It could definitely be the case.
Not just music, it's also car licensing as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that could end up being a issue.
It definitely could be. Huh, I never thought of it like that. It's a great point.
It literally just hit me right now with this leaving Game Pass.
Okay, Crush. Okay. Let's plug. Get yourself out of it, dude. What you got to plug this week?
We've already mentioned it, but you really should go to the YouTube page for My Xbox and Me. You should subscribe. You should leave a comment. You should like the video if you're watching it. Even if you're not watching it and you go to subscribe, just click on the video real quick. Hit a thumbs up and leave a comment, and then also go to the iTunes page, leave a review. Fix told me it can only be 5 stars, and if I ever say anything other than 5 stars, he's firing me. So please leave a 5-star, or else I'm getting fired. And leave a nice review.
Fair enough. Go and subscribe to my main channel, please. I've been uploading videos over there, and I keep losing subs. I've lost 12 subs this month. I've uploaded 3 videos. No, I meant to upload videos and get more subs. I keep uploading videos and getting less subs. I know what it is. It's since I've done a few giveaways on Twitter and stuff, and people go subscribe to it, and then their alert box gets hit, and they're like, oh, I don't need to follow him anymore. The giveaway's done. Unsubscribe.
Got it.
So, if you are somebody who enjoys me, enjoys my reactions, enjoys what I do, please go subscribe to my main channel, youtube.com/mcfixer. We put up like a gameplay video one. And then we've got our second channel, which is more MC Fixer, which we put up all our gameplay channel videos, which we're doing 1 video a day at the moment over there. And we're currently working our way through my Alien Fireteam gameplay. So please do go check it out. Would mean the world to me. And yeah, keep being amazing. Sorry, no Matt P this week. He's not well, hence why he's not here. Sorry if this has been a weird episode, because it kind of feels like it has been. But there's no news. There's nothing we can do. We can do. Until next time, we will love you, leave you, and see you all later. Good boy.
Goodbye.